Welcome back to The Betrayed. I'm Gina Beck.
This is Drew Williams.
Thank you for listening, liking, commenting, and subscribing. We appreciate y'all, especially the reviews on Apple Podcasts. It really means a lot.
Yeah, and like always, thank you again for that hashtag Banana Cats, the continued engagement, and that continued support. Thank you, guys.
And if you have a story and you want it to be told, be sure to check our links in the description and message us. We'll get back to you. And if you want to hear our uncensored versions of this episode, if you're not already, go to the links in the description. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, those other platforms that stream us.
Stitcher, iHeart, all those.
Yeah. How are you, Drew?
I'm all right, G. How are you?
Doing good. I go to Texas soon. When this comes out, I should be in Texas. Right?
Yeah.
I'm in Texas right now, guys.
I'm probably having a blast, but also working.
Right. Double whammy. Get best of both worlds while there. I want to talk about this. Drew found this. Interesting. Crazy headline. It says an offender, you know what kind of offender, because that's all we talk about, released by LA County judge, is charged with abusing, and you know the kind of way that we always talk about how they do it, 2 boys. He's registered. He was set free by a Los Angeles County judge in 2018 because of a 17-year delay in his trial. Has now been charged with 2 children in Tulare County, records show. George Vasquez, 48, was charged with 8 counts of, I don't even have to say it. You guys already know what he did to those boys. It's messed up. But stemming from incidents involving 2 young boys that span the past 3 years, according to a criminal complaint made public Tuesday. Vasquez was arrested by Porterville police on Sunday. In a statement, Tulare County District Attorney Tim Ward said the alleged abuse began in June of 2018, less than 6 months after Vasquez was released from Coalinga State Hospital by order of a Los Angeles County Superior Court judge. Vasquez has been in either prison or state hospital since 1995, when he pleaded no contest to multiple counts of, you guys know what he did to those boys. Court records show he allegedly lured several children ages 6 to 8 to an alley in South LA in 1994 with promise of candy. Back in the days, how that was like probably the
Those are like numbered stereotypical.
Yeah, top 5 ways. That, a dog, and the van.
Yeah.
Right. Messed up. In 1994, too. I was a year old.
I was 8.
Dang. Where he performed with Peace and Love to YouTube on 3 of the boys and forced 1 to perform him, court records show. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison, but in 2000, LA County prosecutors sought to have him committed to a state hospital under California's Violent Act. The law, which was drafted in response to complaints about supposedly short sentences for offenders, allows prosecutors to seek to have defendants committed to treatment for an intermediate amount of time. If they have been convicted of a serious or violent offense, suffer from a mental illness, and are highly likely to reoffend. Vasquez never received a trial date. It had been 17 years, 5 different public defenders rotated on and off his case, each asking to push back the trial so they could adequately prepare for a hearing. LA County Superior Court Judge James Bianco disqualified the public defender's office from the case in late 2017, and early the next year he granted a motion to dismiss the case against Vasquez, ruling his constitutional right to a speedy trial had been violated. There was a systemic breakdown of the public defender system, Bianco said at the time. Public defender involved in the case shared Bianco's frustrations. In a 2014 hearing, Deputy Public Defender Terry Schenkum told the court the public defender's office had slashed the number of attorneys working on cases involving violent predators in half in 2016 Deputy Public Defender David Santiago told Bianca he did not think Mr. Vasquez is being treated fairly by my office either, according to a motion to dismiss the charges against Vasquez at the time. Well, so it just seems like he's been dealing with this stuff off and on forever, right?
It's just more proof of just how convoluted and just how much bull crap there is to get these guys prosecuted in California. This is a perfect example of the system working against itself and protecting bad people and letting them out.
Right. They even mention here that Vasquez had been diagnosed with a learning disability from the age of 8 and may have also suffered a neurological injury during birth, according to the 2017 motion to dismiss charges against him in LA County. I feel like even if you have illnesses like that, it doesn't excuse what you've done.
I don't think so either. Not at all.
Man, 6 to 8 years old. That's messed up. It's just 17 years. Like, what a process. Like, oh my gosh.
That's even worse too because now they have their own prison in California. It's near Fresno, where all it is, and we've talked about this multiple times, where they're all housed
Mhm.
together and probably all learning stuff from each other.
Definitely. And just building relationships, long term relationships.
Yep, and like we've always say that there's no fixing this. This guy reoffended within 6 months of being out. He was already out doing it. Like it's just I know it's inappropriate to laugh, but it's sometimes you just don't even know how else to respond when you read the same story basically over and over again.
True. And things just haven't changed much since. Things like that still go on today, where it's like such a process. Sometimes things don't get done for years. It happens. It's very unfortunate, especially when there's whole families behind the case really wanting justice. It's very, very sad
Yeah,
that things don't get done
the
accordingly.
articles never really make you think about that. How many people are actually affected? The mothers, the fathers, the siblings, the grandparents, all that. The
Yeah,
trickle down effect.
and little boys 6 to 8 years old.
Well, yeah, I mean
There's
that's
a
obviously the
lot of family members that are devastated by hearing about this, and you know they all just want to see one thing. We all know what that one thing is.
yeah. Cap. I got one to follow this, and then I think we'll wrap up this episode. This is a. I hope that everyone listening actually clicks on some of the descriptions because you might be able to actually help find a really sick person that needs to be off the streets. This was reported back in May on the 25th, and I've kept looking for updates, and I do not believe that they have found this gentleman. The title reads: Woman kidnapped, R word, after she and a friend mistakenly get into the wrong vehicle. Nashville, Tennessee. Metro Nashville police detectives asked for public's help in their efforts to identify kidnapping an R word suspect. Police say a man and woman who were both intoxicated mistakenly got into a suspect's pickup truck thinking it was a rideshare. The pair left downtown bar Monday around 2:45 a.m. and got into a black four-door Chevrolet pickup truck. The driver, a man who appeared to be in his 50s with salt and pepper hair wearing a camouflage shirt, reportedly took them to a short-term rental on the short-term rental on Ninth Avenue North. The man got out of the truck and was trying to help the woman out as well when the driver sped off with the woman still in the pickup, according to MMPD press release. The victim told police that the suspect drove her to a field about 30 minutes away, assaulted her before driving back to Nashville, where he dropped her off. The pickup truck had multiple Harley Davidson insignias, a Tennessee American Flag Foundation vanity front license plate, and a storage toolbox in the bed of the truck. It also had a tent strip on the windshield, fender flares, and running boards. The Chevrolet bow tie emblem is black on both the front and back end of the vehicle. With anyone with information about the suspect or the truck was asked to call Crime Stoppers at 615-742-7463. Um, I'm going to leave a couple links in the description so you guys can see this guy's truck. It's a pretty new truck. I really hope because that's a what a crazy human being you have to be to just pose as like rideshare and I can't even imagine what any of those people felt like at that time.
Especially when you do things like that, you're putting a lot of trust and faith into who is in charge, right? Like a lot of things happen with Uber. We've told stories here about it. It's just you're putting a lot of faith and trust into someone. It's just like anything else though, that when someone has control of the wheel or anything else. But in this case, it's obviously a lot worse, and I guess you just never can relax in certain situations, right? You just never can fully relax. You should always stay on guard, I feel like.
There's other things too, and this is not to blame the victims, but people do need to be a little bit
Not
more
at all. Not at all.
be a little bit more vigilant with
Mm-hmm.
checking to make sure that it's the proper vehicle, maybe
Mm.
asking questions before you get in, and
Yeah.
it's easy to say in hindsight, especially when you got two drunk people at almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
In a hurry too, or yeah, your mind's not all there for sure. Like I
But
said, you're putting a lot of trust and faith into someone who has your address, like all sorts of different things. So,
yeah,
yeah.
that's why I'm sure maybe you got a friend in your group of friends up north. I'm kind of the guy that picks everybody up from the bar because I
Yeah.
don't like people taking, taxis or driving home with weirdos from the bar and stuff like that.
I'd hope
Um,
everybody has that friend, you know. At
and
least
if you guys don't, find someone to step up and be that friend.
yeah. But not only what we were saying, stay vigilant, things like that, but on the other hand, it's not your fault because a lot of people will seek out jobs that revolve themselves around people. And a very easy, I feel like, service in order to have one on one contact and be able to do anything you want is a driver. He could drive you anywhere, he could drive you to the middle of nowhere. He could act like he's heading on your route, but know that you're drunk and not paying attention and take a wrong turn. You just never know. So it's not your fault if something like that happens because there are people out there that seek jobs like that. I would just carry protection in this day and age, whether it be mace or a pocket knife or something that you're able to carry and that you know how to use.
And if you can get it a CCW and go to the range and learn how to use your firearm.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to experience that, even if you end up not liking it. I think you should experience it to see if it's something that's for you, and just stay safe.
Yeah, like I said, it's easy to say in hindsight, but stay safe. Those apps really make clear who's picking you up now, and if anything seems weird, don't get in. Just I know that seems so easy, but call another ride share, call a taxi. If it's really bad, call the police. If it's that serious and that scary of a situation, the worst they're gonna do is tell you that there's nothing they can help you with.
Better safe than sorry. Trust your gut instincts for sure. I think we're gonna end it there. Thank you for listening, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Until next time, banana cats.
Banana cats, much love, peace.